Oh, look at this. You have a duplicate of
That's
mine.
right. That's right. We're going to ask you guys to award the next best boy.
Oh, nice.
How are you? Did you have fun with Sally?
I did.
I love her. She's great.
The best.
No, it was good. It was, when I did that Argent photo shoot, Monica did it also.
Oh, okay.
Sally,
Yes.
who's amazing.
We love her.
But wait, I like who she's curating. So you guys are her models,
Yeah.
and you guys are very much the behind the scenes ass kickers.
That's what she
Yeah,
does.
it's kind of like unsung women-ish.
Totally. Yeah,
Yeah,
she
she
has this
elevates
whole
women.
brand for like working women, and she really likes to highlight women who are badass.
Did you invest in this Liquid Death?
I wish. I've been trading stocks on my Charles Schwab account for about a year and 5 months where I actually focus on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like so proud of myself. This measly amount of money I've made. Molly, have you been consuming anything and gone to Jimmy and been like, we need to get involved with this?
No, I honestly have I? I don't think I have.
No, she doesn't. I don't allow her to eat.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
No,
That's
I have
bad.
to keep myself trimmed.
For longevity.
Yeah.
That's why.
I do remember like explaining like dry bar to you once. You're like, oh, that's a good concept. But
Yeah.
we didn't invest in it.
But I did. You remember my reaction was I wanted to learn how to blow dry hair
Yeah.
so we could save the trip.
I do remember that.
It's like, I feel like I could figure this out.
Yeah. It's not a super precise device. You're blowing a huge swath of wind at hair.
It's a big franchise. They're teaching these people their way. If they
It's
just teach
true.
me the way, how hard could it be?
How hard?
Yeah.
That's how I look at everything. How hard could it be?
He does do that sometimes. Like before award shows, he offers to do my hair and makeup. And then
yeah.
you did.
And you never say
glam.
yes.
Uh-huh.
He did convince his cousin Sal once that he gave haircuts.
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Dax gives haircuts. He gave me a haircut on this podcast once.
Mhm.
And?
She hates to admit it, but it was a good
It
trim.
was a B
Really?
plus.
Oh,
it was
wow.
really good.
Oh, wow.
That's
I thought it was an A. I'm just learning it was a B+.
A
well,
B
you
plus is
know,
an A plus, by the way.
Exactly.
That
Yeah.
should have been an
Right.
F minus.
It was
You're right.
good. He's good.
How many heads of hair have you cut?
Hundreds and hundreds.
Really?
I did,
Hundreds.
To bore you, I did tasseled corn between 7th and 8th grade all summer. And I think I made like $800.
Right.
And I spent the money on a Nintendo, Mike Tyson's Punch Out, and then wall clippers and scissors. And I came back from this summer of detasseling corn. And before school, I was like, who wants a mohawk? And I cut like 6 or 7 kids' hair before the pictures. And it was a big dust up at Muir Junior High. My mom got called. Parents were super upset. But it didn't thwart me. I kept cutting hair. And by the time I was in high school, I was pretty good. Like I could do fades and anytime I got my haircut, I was really paying attention. Like, what are they doing? Oh, they're cutting like this. Okay, cool. Oh, they're grabbing in these sections.
And no YouTube. There's none of that. You didn't have a guide or anything.
You had 25 minutes at, Sam's to study the
Once
barber.
every 3 months.
and pick up, some skills. Thank you to our presenting sponsor, HP, for supporting this episode. Parents, you've got enough on your back to school list right now. Ink cartridges do not need to be on it. They just don't. The HP Smart Tank printer uses a refillable ink tank and comes with up to 3 years of ink included. It's the last printer you'll ever need. To learn more, search HP Smart Tank. But what's funny is, so all through my 20s, I cut most of my friends that I hung out with hair because I did a pretty good job and everyone was broke. And I used to do it for like a 6-pack or a pizza or whatever. So now my thing is I don't really need anything. I love to cut people's hair, but only one time because I want to impress them. And then I never want to deal with it again. So like Kristen's mother was visiting like 3 years ago and I'm staring at her hair all weekend and it's starting to drive me crazy. It's like a classic Michigan cut. Well, you need some layers. You need some things going on. And she, crazy enough, let me cut her hair. And then she came back on the next visit and she's like, I've never gotten more compliments from a hairdo. And I'm like, oh, that's so great. She goes, I mean, honestly, like maybe 20 people told me. And I was like, oh my God, that's incredible. And she was very much staring at me like, can I get a trim?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just got the thing I really wanted, which was to blow your mind. I can cut hair.
God, it's so selfish.
I'm
And
just
you
being
wouldn't
honest
do it
about
again?
Like I would cut your hair
But
for sure
only once.
one time.
Wow.
And then once you were impressed, there's nothing in it for
Can't
me
get it
anymore.
again.
That's why you got to say B plus because you got to
I'm
keep
shocked, but I shouldn't be shocked because I will say when I first met you, I looked at you and said, this looks like a guy who cuts his own hair.
And I was cutting my own hair. And I haven't had my hair cut by a professional in 7 years since I was on a show last.
You're still doing it to yourself?
Yeah.
How do you get the back?
So in the back, I generally use a 5 clipper attachment, and that one just lives at that level. There's no layering going on. Yeah, because it's a real, it's problematic. But now that I'm growing my hair out, the back is getting really challenging because I am having to cut it with scissors.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
that was way too much about me. Do either of you have a super hidden talent that you like to do one time?
I am completely blown away by this fact. I have to say, it's weird when you know somebody and then you find something out about them. Like Chris Bianco, our friend who's a pizza chef.
Yeah.
I've never heard the guy sing 2 notes in a row. And we did karaoke at the Lodge last year. And he's got a really good voice and belted it out. He sang
It was
the
really
Rolling Stones,
exciting.
and we were going crazy.
Yeah.
Like, what is this?
It's so exciting.
Yeah.
But if we're talking out of school, the performance that Jimmy Fallon put on in the full Elvis outfit was about as
Incredible.
for a private show that you're not getting paid at.
Okay, first of all, he was dressed as Evel Knievel.
Oh, so
You should know that.
well, look, fine line between the jumpsuits.
Fine line.
Yeah,
I'll give you
yeah.
that.
Two white jumpsuits.
The best part of that story was that, Jimmy and I fished together that day, and he had no fishing clothes. So he had nothing. He had nothing to wear on the water at a fishing lodge. And so I said, all right, well, we got to go to the shop and get you some clothes. And it took like 45 minutes. We got him the clothes. We get him all decked out. And then he comes into the bar fully dressed as Evel Knievel to sing. And I said, you brought this and nothing to fish in?
Oh, so it was a huge outfit. It took
big
up
outfit.
probably the majority of his suitcase.
He said it was the whole bag.
He's incredible.
The performance was so good that I think we all mid-performance started getting very concerned he was going to have a heart attack or something medical, right?
But that's no surprise, though. We know that he's a very talented singer and performer.
Yeah.
Now, if you've seen him make a pizza, not as professional, not as impressive.
Right.
This is like Chris Bianco. Well, you remember he made that shitty pizza and he made a video of it.
He did?
Yeah, and then I made one in response.
Was that during COVID?
It was like a rap battle, an old school rap battle.
Yeah, you won that one.
Yeah, but it is weird when people have like some weird talent. I don't have any hidden talents because when you're doing the show every single night, you bring all 3 of your talents to the forefront.
Yeah,
If you can play a little bit of drums, you'll be playing the drums.
That's right.
But you have the cartooning.
I've done that on the air. It is hard to be funny, though, and to draw at the same time. It's almost impossible.
He's also an incredible cook. He's not messing around.
Yeah, but what are you going to do with that?
Yeah.
We'll feed all your friends.
Make everybody happy around you.
Yeah.
I have a very weird skill, which is I can remember what women wore to almost everything.
It is
Wait, really?
incredible.
Really?
And
It
we
is
just discovered
the
it.
most impressive thing I've ever seen anyone do. And what did I say to you last month? I just threw something out there. I said something to the effect of, what did our niece Allison wear to our daughter's baby shower 18 months ago? And she's like, she thought about it for a couple of seconds and she came up with it.
It was like a white linen pant.
And our niece was going wild.
Wow.
I don't know why. I don't know why I'm not aware of it in the moment, but I can remember I don't remember what men wore, but I can remember what women almost wore to
Interesting.
everything.
There's nothing memorable about what we wear.
Yeah, that's true.
stylish.
Unless you're Jimmy Fallon and Evel Knievel.
And this, unfortunately, is probably more of a Jimmy question, but maybe it's not. So watching Fallon put on that show last year, it was kind of like a rite of passage. I remember watching him and I was like, this would be so hard for me 5 years ago. He's so much funnier than me and energetic in the life of he is everything that has been the role I filled in my group for years. And I'm now, at that time I was 50 watching it. I was like, I think we're finally here where we can let him be spectacular. It has nothing to do with how unspectacular I am. Do you remember getting,
self-esteem.
You've always been funny but you're surrounded by a lot of people. At some point you gotta go let Fallon jump on the table.
I've never had that inclination in the slightest bit. Never.
Really?
Never had it. Yeah. If I'm at a table with funny people, I'm more than happy to just sit there and listen to it the whole time.
Yeah.
I think maybe being a talk show host, you need to have that because the goal is for those people to shine.
Yeah.
And to me, it's just a relief when somebody can carry the ball, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about, when there's an audience, when there's a live audience in it, like you have to get that. Yeah.
Once in a while, we get comedians on, and I'm like, oh, we should have them every fucking day.
Makes it easy. Right?
Yeah, they care. They're trying hard to be funny, and you're like, oh man, what a blessing.
But
that
you
is.
still want them.
Yeah,
to be fair.
I'm not
you
as
still
evolved
want
as
their approval. You want them
If
to
it
think
was a
you're
long
funny.
form situation like this, yeah, I would certainly want that, whatever. But you know how it is at our show. You have 8 minutes,
Yeah.
and those are your 8 minutes. You know,
Yeah.
and if you see me being funny in those 8 minutes, it means I'm just trying to fill in a hole.
It means their 3-minute story was 45 seconds, and now we've got some time to make it up. Yeah. It's funny. Are you conscious of that click? Because occasionally we'll have an expert on who is very, very smart, but they've never been in front of camera or whatever. It's just not, whatever. They're not going to dole out the info that they have. And I go like, yeah, it's just going to be one of these episodes. I'm just telling random stories quite a bit, right?
Yeah.
And you feel a little bad about it, but you're like, that's what I got to do right now.
It's funny because online, like if you get somebody, like sometimes the worst guests are very young and they're very popular.
Yeah.
And they have a rabid fan base of young people who are very excited to see them. And they walk out there and they don't know what to do,
Yeah.
And you have to help them, and you have to help fill that time and make sure it's not a train wreck.
Yeah.
And then your reward is you will go online and be bashed by everyone saying, you didn't let so-and-so talk.
I couldn't agree more. What I have to resist to comment to those people.
Yeah. And it's real easy to see, on YouTube, they're right there for you. So that's just something you have to deal with.
It really is a skill. And I know you guys have figured that out. Like, it is a skill for people to know how to tell a story. And it really, like, some of the most talented people can't do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what's interesting? Chefs, a lot of chefs, some of them are made for television. Some of them are made for broadcasting. And some of them are great chefs, and they're just not good at it. And you're kind of puzzled. You're just like, oh, this guy's such a great chef. Why can't he tell me what's happening?
Yeah, of all the ways to get famous and end up on your show, that one required the least amount of probably personality. You have the skill set, and you're a great manager probably. Doesn't mean great talk show.
Yeah, right, yeah.
When thinking of things, we already know Life Story. We've done Life Story. First of all, again, just publicly, what a great episode you had. You had such a spectacular episode. People loved it so much.
They really did.
It was a huge.
It was a real bucket list moment for me. I love this podcast so much. Constantly texting Monica everything I love about it.
It's really nice.
Thank you for having me.
Well, the thing I was thinking about is I've known you guys for a long time. How long have you been together now?
Well, you and I have known each other for 20-something years, 22 years probably.
Yeah.
And you and I have been married for 12. I always forget.
It'll
And you
be
get
13
mad.
in
13.
July.
We've been married for 13.
13
And you were
in
together
Together
for how
for 3
long?
before that. So
16 years.
That's long.
That's mega.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's your longest relationship, right?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah. By some time, right?
Not by much, but
Okay. All right. We might. Okay.
by a year.
We made it.
I don't really know the your meet cute story. Monica and I really wanted to hear
I'll tell you.
Yeah, how it blurred.
Okay. Well, we knew each other because we worked together, but I think I met him a couple weeks into working at the show.
Mm-hmm.
And I went into his office with the executive producer at the time, and he's like, oh, I want you to meet my new assistant. And I don't think Jimmy even looked up from his desk. And my boss at the time, Daniel, said, this is Molly. She's my new assistant. She does triathlons, because I was doing triathlons at the time. And Jimmy said, how stupid. And then that was it. That was my first
He started by
meeting
nagging
him.
you.
Oh.
He had just read that book.
Yeah.
No, I really couldn't. I couldn't understand why a human being would do something like
triathlons.
that.
Subject
I do
themselves
agree.
to. Well, really quick, your first impression of him, other than the fact that he didn't look up and give you eye contact,
Yeah.
were you like, this is like a thing?
No.
No,
Sorry.
not at all.
And not at all. Like, not even a little bit. And by the way, same with him with me. Like, I didn't
Even more so.
Yeah. How dare you? No, I did not look at him that way at all.
Were you intimidated by him?
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure. I was intimidated by him.
Yep.
But as I got to work with him for years, I really loved this guy. I was like, he is such a good human. He takes such good care of his staff. He's so good to his family. He's just a good human being.
That's what I do. That's how I set the table,
It's a long
You're
play. You
spending.
gotta really get to know how you treat everyone in your life
exhausting.
before the attraction ramps up.
That's what I have to do.
Yeah.
So I don't know how far in, like, I think it was like 8 years into maybe me working there. And
Wait, that long?
yeah, it was a long time.
Oh my heavens.
And I remember
Yeah.
at the time I was one of the head writers, and at one of our writers' meetings, someone asked, cousin Sal said, if you can only have 5 foods the rest of your life, what are they? And we all went around the table and said them. And I just rattled off. I remember I said pizza, gnocchi, crab claws, BLT, and chocolate chip cookies.
Well, really
and
quick.
Great
Yeah,
list.
real quick,
Yeah.
good list. And about 6 months later, talk about long play, 6 months later, I go to Jimmy's house. He asks me to come over after work. I just got back from Africa, I think, and you were gonna,
That's right.
and he was gonna help me build a classroom over there.
Oh.
I went over to his house, and he opens up the door, and it smells delicious. And he's like, I've made some things, and it was pizza, gnocchi,
Whoa.
crab claws, chocolate chip cookies, and BLT. And he had remembered what my favorite foods were,
That is
and he made them all.
Now, really quick, do you immediately register that as like, oh, he wants to fuck?
Yes.
Yeah, he likes
Yes.
fucking with
And it made me very excited and very nervous.
Wouldn't it have been so weird if that wasn't? I was just like, no, I
what I
know
do.
I want to know what you like to eat.
I
and that's
really
what we're
love
having.
food.
You were just the most confusing plutonic friend anyone ever had.
But I remember thinking, oh no, this is a bad idea. I mean, he was my
I didn't
boss.
have that thought.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah.
No, the person in power usually doesn't. But I was very nervous about it. I thought it was a terrible idea, and I was very skittish. And I kept telling him, I think this is a bad idea. And he kept saying, it's not a bad idea. And now we've been
I kept
together
going,
for...
Stop talking.
Talk
Just
too
sign
much.
this NDA and let's eat this yummy
Eat this
food.
gnocchi. You eat this gnocchi and then you tell me you don't want to do it.
You tell me that. You look me in the eye with a straight face.
All right, Blondie?
So were you guys sneaking around? Were you doing some
A
sneaking?
little bit.
Yeah.
A
That's
little bit of
fun.
sneaking.
For the
Fun.
first few months, we were very, very quiet about it. I was very nervous about it changing, obviously, the work dynamic. And I was in a room full of mostly men, and we had a great thing going on in that room, and I didn't want it to change. But then it did.
If I can
Yeah.
defend the men in power for 1 second, because no one's
Oh,
doing
please
that anymore. It's
do.
been like a
Yeah,
decade
it's
since
been-
anyone has taken up a sword to defend the men in power. You would think the man in power would be like, oh, I hope she doesn't like me because I'm, I just like me because I have power. You're thinking, I don't think she likes me.
Mm.
I don't know if this person likes me. The last thing you're thinking is like, she likes me so much. I hope it's not for my power.
It's funny
Right.
because that would never occur to me. I always was like, oh, if she thinks I'm funny, then maybe she'll like me. It's never
Right.
about like anything other than that.
Yeah, right.
right.
I know that my only chance is to be funny.
Now, when it clicks to a guy in power, then we got danger.
Yeah.
Yeah, big time.
obviously.
But I don't know that the friends I've had who've ended up dating coworkers, I don't think they were afraid the person liked them because they had power. I think they were just mostly really nervous and hopeful they liked them.
They're saying the person in power was nervous and hoping the person without power liked them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you'd have to be like, oh, they love me. They like me.
Yeah.
I hope it's not for my power. They're not even assuming you like them. Like you have to start there in some weird ways. That makes sense?
I think it depends on what you look like. I think like when guys
Yeah.
are real good looking, they just kind of, it's just makes more sense to them.
They're not
Well,
worried.
that's like
right?
societal power, I guess. But more it's if once you're dating, then the power is the problem. Can
Yeah.
be the problem because
It's a
then
big
it's
time
like,
Well, I just
oh,
kept thinking like this, if this doesn't, I kept telling like statistically, this is not going to work out. And your life doesn't change, but mine does.
yeah.
And
yes.
that's what really freaked me out.
That's what gave me so much comfort.
Absolutely.
so
That was
good
your
in that
leverage.
Yeah, but I was really freaked out by it because I had worked really, really hard. I was one of the head writers of the show. I'd been doing that role for about a year and a half.
The thing I most related to is when you were talking about, like, I don't want it to be like, I like being us and them. I want to be
Yes.
in this writer's room and shit
Totally.
on him. Like, that would be the thing I would be
Yeah.
afraid to lose.
Yeah, I still shit on him in the writer's room.
More so. Much more
Sometimes
so.
I do find myself overcorrecting a little bit.
Not a little bit. A lot bit.
Yeah. I got to keep my relationship in there, you know?
Well, I'll tell you right now, Monica will probably cut this out, but she's in this situation where it's a guy that was moving furniture into her house. She's like, that guy's tall and handsome. Went on a date with him. It didn't work out. Now she can't order any more furniture.
Well, I will be ordering more furniture. I just will be getting the schedule.
Is he the only furniture delivery person?
So he works with my designer. So my designer's like, okay, we're bringing in this. And he came over twice and I was like, that guy's cute.
Stay on the couch.
I would, bring more couches.
Drop the couch.
And I did make a mistake because I then, pursued, which I was very proud of myself.
For you.
Yeah, we're all happy. Yeah.
Everyone's very proud
How
of me.
did you do it? What did you say?
So I reached out to my designer and I said, who is that guy? And she said his name. And I said, do you know if he's single? How old is he? She gave me all the information. He was single. And she said, should I give... Well, first she said, do you want to see him again before you decide? And I was like,
very designer, by the way.
Exactly.
Try it out for a week.
Look at the
Sit
sample.
on it. Was he on it?
Was there a 30% commission?
Exactly. No, they call it auditioning a piece when they have something. Yeah. Do you want to audition him? So I said, okay, well, give him my number. And then he texted me immediately.
It was fine, right?
Someone needs to snatch him up and marry him.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be me.
Yeah.
He was a nice
understand
boy.
that.
And now she's really got
very
to
nice.
decide how bad she wants the ottoman from the catalog.
I'm never coming downstairs from upstairs.
Yeah, that's
when the
hard.
furniture is being
What if I'm
delivered.
there when he arrives? I'm like, hey, she was, and I start receiving your furniture.
You start
that'd be
dating
great.
him.
I'll start dating him. Yeah. From your point of view, this is confusing to me, but I accept it, which is you slowly were exposed to what a wonderful and generous and thoughtful human he was in your attraction group. What took you 8 years?
Well, I was dating someone.
Okay.
I was dating Sarah Silverman.
Okay.
And then we broke up. And then we would, because we broke up, I didn't feel just didn't feel like it would be cool for me to go anywhere, to be out or anything.
Okay.
So we would just hang out at the office with a group of about 7 or 8 people every night. And that was really our social life. So it was like a reality show in some ways, I've not seen
By the way,
Love
you're
Island.
making this sound so romantic. You're like, basically, I couldn't go anywhere, so she was just there.
Do you know jurors are sequestered? Do you know that?
She was the only woman I was allowed to be around.
It's like we were in lockdown.
Well, we got to know each other in a way that you don't usually get to know people at work.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially me, because I don't talk. There are 4 people at work that I talk to every day. And Molly's not one of them. It's like I'm in an office just kind of staring at my computer trying to figure out what we're going to do that night.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, now that you guys have been working together for 16 years of that, I do wonder, it's almost impossible to have time with your partner when you have kids. Considering how demanding both roles are at the show, do you think you could have been together 16 years if you didn't work together? Would you ever see each other, and would you only see each other in this stressful kid dynamic?
That's a great question.
There are work weekends where we have to go someplace that we wind up spending a lot of time together, and they feel like vacation weekends. And then occasionally we do go on, we don't take long vacations together, but we'll go away for a couple of days.
Yeah.
And that's always nice.
How often does that happen?
Well, I was just going to say, I think we would have found each other and been together whether we worked together or not. But I do think that the job has made us so much closer. I do think there's kind of this, similar to, I imagine what you guys feel. You have a common goal every day, and we have a shorthand with each other. We have an understanding. It's definitely drawn, especially just the ups and downs of our life, professionally, personally, publicly. I think it has made us so much closer.
We don't have to explain things to each other wait till you hear what happened at work today, because we experience it simultaneously.
Yeah. Do you think it's also neutralized what could easily be bad behavior? If you were just the host of this talk show and you had a wife who wasn't in the business,
right?
It would be easy for you to think what you're doing is so demanding and important. And you would come home and you'd explain to her the pressures, and she might be enamored with how much, but you're doing the same thing. So there's just no one gives a fuck that anyone's burnout, right? Don't you think that's kind of healthy?
Yeah.
Kristen's not impressed with what I do. I'm not impressed with what she does.
Right.
Do you think it's like neutralized how you might have behaved otherwise in a different relationship?
I don't know really. I think most people have a pretty hard day, right?
Yeah.
I do a lot of stuff,
Too much stuff.
and if anything, we have the argument we have is that Molly says I'm doing too much stuff
Yeah.
and can't understand how I'm doing this much stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to me, it's just kind of like, well, I have stuff that has to be done,
Right,
so I'm doing it.
Yeah. Stuff needs doing.
Where
Yep.
I get frustrated personally is when there's something that I don't want to do, some like work that I have to do that's like 2 hours of going through scripts and in a very detailed way that is not enjoyable, and I get shit for it. That I don't like. It's like, wow, this is once again I found myself in a lose-lose situation.
Well, you
Yeah.
have someone who wants to be with you, you know? That's
right.
nice.
But then I go like, yeah, on that, yes, but also like, you work at the show too, and we
I
have
do
to
understand.
do this stuff.
I do.
Right.
So it kind of sometimes it's like, oh, Jesus Christ. Like, not only do I have to do this, but she's mad.
Yeah, sure. That's the icing on the cake.
I said to him the other night, we were like, the day is so grueling, and like putting on a show every day is so demanding. It really is. I don't know if people really understand. Like, it is from 7 a.m, and to him, it's usually like 10 or 11 o'clock at night. He gets home, we put the kids to bed, he reads Harry Potter with them, we have dinner, and then it's back to work for about 2 to 3 hours on his computer prepping the next day. And the other night we were just like laying in bed, and I said, this is my favorite time of the day, when it's just quiet, there's no noise, and it's just two of us laying in bed together, and we're like really talking and connecting. And it's also crazy that it's just like 10 minutes a day when it's a show day,
And then there was silence, and then she heard.
Well, he is narcoleptic, and he falls asleep immediately.
Well, if he's up or working from 7 to
That's
11.
my secret talent, is falling right to sleep.
It's so annoying. He falls asleep
hates it.
immediately.
Oh, that's aggravating. So I'm very much you in the relationship. I think Kristen could say no to more things.
Mm-hmm.
I envy her sleep.
Yep.
And it's interesting because would you agree? You don't just get angry that they work too much or that they've said yes to too many things. I start getting into psychoanalyzing her, and I'm like, what is the big barrier of saying no?
Yes.
Or is it, can you not remember how you felt the last time you said yes to that thing, and that you'll be there and you'll hate it and you don't need to do that anymore? So like, what's going, like I get overly obsessed with trying to figure out what is going on.
Same. And I think a lot of it is like, I just say like a yes to all of that is a no to us at home. And I know that a lot of it is part of the job and you have to do it. But I start to take it, I wouldn't say personally, but I guess personally, I'm like, why do all those people get a piece? Can we have a little bigger piece of the pie? But I also understand the demands of the job better than anybody. It's all the extra stuff. All that.
You're doing one of
stuff.
it right now. And by the way, I just want you to know for the record, I did not ask you guys to come on. He was so nice and offered, and I never would have done it because I know what week we're all having.
trouble.
I was confused at first. Dax was.
I don't even know how that
Dax made the
happened.
mistake of trying to communicate with me as a human being, and I'm not used to that.
Bad
I thought we
idea.
could bond. That this time of year for both of us is really hellish.
I saw it as he needed help.
Oh, that's
I was like,
so
yes,
nice.
we will. You know what? We are very busy, but we will figure it out. And he's like, well, I wasn't asking you.
And then I was in a tricky situation. I was like, I would never, ever turn you guys down as guests.
Wait,
So-
why are we here? Did you invite us here?
I did.
Yes.
I invited
Yes.
us here.
Yes.
I invited us here.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
As parents, our mental to-do list in August is already doing that thing where we're trying to enjoy summer, but the first day of school is just pinging in the background. Because we know it's coming, the forms, the supply lists, pickup and drop-off times, and the last thing parents want in the whole spiral is, oh, we need to print this by tomorrow and we're out of ink again. That's the idea behind the HP Smart Tank printer from HP, America's most trusted printer brand. Instead of those little cartridges that know how to run out at the exact wrong moment, the HP Smart Tank uses refillable ink tanks, and it comes with up to 3 years of ink included. 3 years! That's 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade without the tiny cartridge drama. Because let's be honest, middle school does not need our help adding more drama. I love this printer. We have it.
It's great.
And I look at that tank and I go, oh, we're so safe.
It's like magic.
Let it rip. Sometimes I panic about printing a whole script. Not now.
Oh, nice.
Total freedom. HP can't fix middle school, but the HP Smart Tank, can fix the ink problem. Search HP Smart Tank. We are supported by Allstate. Checking Allstate first could save you hundreds on car insurance. Not checking that your keys are actually in your hand before you close the car door. Have you ever stood in a parking lot full of sun staring at your keys sitting right there on the seat 4 inches away and completely useless to you? It's a very specific kind of humbling. Yeah, checking first is a good idea. So check Allstate first for an auto quote. It could save you hundreds. And for fast, reliable help when you need it, add an Allstate roadside plan today. You're in good hands with Allstate. Potential savings vary. Insurance and roadside assistance plans are subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Insurance provided by Allstate North American Insurance Company, Northbrook, Illinois. Roadside assistance plans provided by Allstate Motor Club, Incorporated, an Allstate affiliate. Molly, I just said, kind of, hey, checking in. I know this is our most miserable time of year.
Yeah.
We share this. Always when we get to Idaho, I'm dead.
Yes.
And I can see you guys are dead. So I was just kind of like saying like, hey, how's the grind going?
Yeah.
And I don't know why you interpret that as like,
I'm not sure why I interpret it either.
I'll
it's
tell
like
you why.
basically, maybe he's asking people to work more than you think he's just saying yes.
No, this is the problem. This is the problem. You like, this is like just a human being trying to have a human interaction with you, a friend checking in. What a nice thing. But you're so like used to just like the transaction of every day of like, yes or no, do I do this?
It was the middle of the day. I was in that mode, you know.
Oh my
and
God.
I was
It was a confusing time of day.
Also, this isn't exactly work. The only time we really get to have a long, detailed conversation is when I'm here doing this podcast.
Yeah, that is true.
I look at it as a social opportunity.
You may have picked up on some truth, though. We did need this. We're trying to get through the summer.
Right.
We need
I understand it. And I felt like if I can help that, I can relate to that. You know, you've got to bank some shows
exactly
in order to go on vacation.
Wait, I need more. Was the intention at all to have him on the show? Tell me the truth.
1,000% zero. Because
Right.
I know what his
clear
schedule
from the
is.
text that wasn't his intent.
I know what his schedule is.
That's how I read it. You know,
I won't ask you guys to be on when I need you, and I know you're free. So the chance I would have asked during y'all's hardest.
We have asked you so many times. Dax and Kristen always come through when we need a guest.
That is also in my head too.
Yeah.
Like if there's a request of any kind, I must.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
It's that time of year, ... doing 6 to 8 a week, trying to get free for the summer. Thought you might be in a similar burnout phase. June 19th can't get here soon enough.
I see how you read that as he might need some.
I was like checking in on
That is a human checking in with another human.
I think it's that time of year part that I was like, okay, all right, it's that time of year.
He goes,
It's that time of
I'm
year.
in
I
the
asked
same
you to-
boat, but if you need me, I'll make it work.
Oh no!
To which I responded, that's generous and beautiful. I promise I wasn't fishing. I was just thinking of who could relate to the bottomless content inferno that we won't ever abate.
Why are we here?
And then he wrote, either way, the offer stands. So now it's like,
now he's doubled down. I really want to come
now like I'm going to offend him by not inconveniencing him.
It'd be so great if these weren't even on. Like they just set this all up for us just
That's
to make
one
you
of the
feel
fun things about being me. Like on one hand, I don't want to do stuff.
Yeah.
On the other hand, if for instance, if you had been doing this podcast for a long period of time and never had asked me to be on it, even though if you'd said, you know what, he's so busy, like I don't want to bother him and ask me to be on it, it would drive me insane.
It would.
Yeah.
You're so hard to
Nuts.
figure out. I think that's why I'm still intrigued with you after 22 years. Because I want to know why you're saying yes to everything. Because I have like immediate theories jump out at me. Like one is you have a hard time saying no. Two is like you think you got to keep your foot fucking slammed to the floorboard to keep, I don't know, the business going. which doesn't seem right.
There's you're generous.
I'm in the business of asking people to do things for me.
Okay.
Excuse me, what do you mean by that? Like them coming on the show?
Yeah.
Okay.
And like when we have a bit and like, I'm committed to some idea, I think it's going to be so funny, but it can only be this person.
Mm-hmm.
And if they say no, it can be so heartbreaking, or if you're in like a tough spot, you're like somebody got sick and the show's in 3 hours. So for me, there are certain people like Dax, for instance, who I would never say no to ever. And I mean, unless like, I was on the moon or something like that. And then there are other people, who to a lesser extent, like, somebody's been on my show 8 times and then they want me to do their podcast. In my head, the just thing is to do the podcast. That's it.
That's a beautiful way to put it. But if I were your partner, what Kristen would say to me is, they're not doing you favors to be on your show.
I agree.
You have a great, fun show that is a great opportunity to promote a project that you're obligated to promote, and there's no better, funner place to go do it. So really,
it's not about doing favors. Really, it's about it's about being fair. The spirit of it.
Yeah.
It's about knowing what it takes to pull off something like this.
Yeah.
That it's hard, and so if you can show up for someone, you will. You do that. If anyone asks you to be on a podcast, you say yes.
Oh, I will, but I'm not as busy as Jimmy.
Well, yeah,
or as popular, so it doesn't come up as much. But I wanna psychological breakthrough here. There's something more going on.
I have a hard time saying no to charity events as well. It's a very, very difficult thing for me.
Yeah.
That's hard.
I'd also just like to add that I think some of it is guilt, maybe like a little bit of guilt. I think Jimmy is still in shock that he is as successful as he is. Yeah. And I think that he feels very guilty almost about that.
Yeah. I think it's more, I grew up Catholic and I just have an inherent sense of guilt about existing in the world and having... listen, if you're going to really be Catholic, you should have no money. You should have nothing. You should give all of it away.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you got, that's strike 1, 2.5 just to start off. That you got to come back from. And, in general, like I'm from a family of people who do a lot of things for other people. That's the model. That's what I have seen in my life, At the end of, when we would go to church, at the end of church, my parents would be folding up all the chairs while everybody else left. Right? So that's just what is ingrained in me.
That is exactly who you are.
That could be motivated by 2 things. One is like, I don't deserve this, and I'll jinx myself if I'm not always available and ready to show up.
I don't look at it like that.
You don't? Okay.
No.
Okay.
It's not like superstitious. Thank you.
Okay, you just passed the most important test.
Yeah, we just talked about this.
We just talked about this. We went to lunch with some friends a few years back. And I'm at this lunch and I'm staring at my male friend's nose. And there are 6 very, very visible, huge black hairs growing out of his nose from across the table. I can see.
Inside.
No, the outside.
Oh.
He's sprouted from the bulb of the nose, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Are you friends with a rhesus
I could
monkey?
see it from the other side of the table and catty corner, right? I was diagonal from my friend. Wow. And we got in the car and I said to my wife, she hates his fucking guts. That woman is a foot from his face. She sees that and she's like, I want this motherfucker out there with hair all over his nose. And she goes, it's kind of crazy. There's no way you would be moving around town with huge hairs growing on your nose.
Never mind her. What's wrong with him?
No.
Yeah.
He can't see.
Why can't he see it?
He's got a mirror, right?
I didn't want to say this friend is Stevie Wonder.
No.
But it is an older man who probably would have to put glasses on to see the hairs in the mirror.
Okay.
And we don't bring our reading glasses to the mirror regularly.
Okay.
This is her job, and it's his job to be minding her. So I say this in the car, and Kristen kind of agrees. Guys, they got divorced 3 months later.
Really?
They did.
Oh, wow.
So what I just saw, you caring for how your partner looks, good job.
Just bought us at least 3 months.
Yeah, I am not making that prediction.
What was it like? Is there some like nose hair version of irreconcilable differences?
If I were him and I was in court and I would say, look, she could see these huge hairs. I was embarrassing myself everywhere, and she wanted me to be.
She could also say in court, he just stopped taking care of himself.
Exactly.
He was letting all these hairs grow out of his nose and didn't seem to care
And then
enough about
he would say, "Molly, I can't see."
we
I
made that
need
part
you.
up.
Who drove home? Was it her or him?
They were staying at the hotel.
Oh,
That's enough information. And I was hot under the collar when we left that.
Wow,
I'm
because
like,
of
she
that.
does. What is she doing?
Why
Yeah.
didn't you tell him? See,
But
because
it's
hard
interesting to me
know
that you got
people's
mad at her before him.
I agree.
That's
I
so
felt
not
bad
you. You
for
are
him.
one of the most feminist men that I know, and I'm a little
Yeah.
surprised that you were mad at her and not him. Like, why aren't you like, hey man,
yeah,
clean
but he
up?
would have felt the
don't-
same way it was
he
reversed,
clearly
You would've.
doesn't know that. He has those hairs. No one would leave the house if they knew about the amount of long hairs growing out of the nose.
Yeah. Okay.
And so is your partner not looking at you at all? That's concerning.
Mhm.
Like if Kristen had 5 huge black hairs growing out of her nose, I would see it.
Yeah.
And I would go, hon, I know you're going to a photo shoot. Do you want me to grab the tweezers? Because I love her.
Yeah.
And you would do the same thing.
Yeah, I would.
This is a good reason to
But
be
what if,
disappointed.
okay, he could
Mhm.
be a very sensitive person. Maybe before she's tried to be like, hey, you have. And he's like, don't stop.
He's
just
insecure.
stop picking on me. or stop-
face.
I had a
Exactly.
terrible
That's how I make my money.
I had a terrible experience helping someone with a hair once. I was high school and this girl, Carmen Pastoric, blonde, beautiful. All the guys loved her. They're all around her. She's telling a story. Everyone's enamored. And I was like, oh, look at her. But I'm embarrassed for her because there's a long hair. She has long blonde hair and one's on her face. So I reached over as she's mid-story. I reached over and I pulled it and it went dink.
Oh,
And I'm like,
no.
and all of the guys went at the same time. And she got beat red. She had like a 9-inch long blonde chin hair. I don't know how she made it out the door not seeing that, but I remember just feeling
When you pulled the
Horrible.
string, did she say something? I want to be friends.
no, I didn't think she would be my friend anymore. I felt terrible.
Oh, no.
Yeah, because you just thought it was an errant hair.
Yeah, I thought it was an errant hair, and I went to pull it, and it was connected
Stuck.
to the chin.
We have somebody at our show who has a lot of ear hair that I monitor, and I talked to him about it. I was like, "That's too much ear hair.
Oh,
You gotta
good.
take care of that because once you just stop, then it's like what happens? You become an old man, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And so I monitor it.
Yeah.
Have the children taken over any of your duties? Because Lincoln, for whatever reason, is so on top of my ears. She examines them all the time. If she finds crust in there, she hates it. She wants me to have clean ears when I leave the house.
Oh, I like that.
So, is Jane taking over any of your duties in that regard?
She yells at me when I put Q-tips in my ears.
Okay.
Because she knows they're not.
Dangerous.
They're very interesting children. They're very by the book, you know. Like they are. If like we have a friend who litters and smokes, and they are mortified by this,
Yeah.
and he loves how mortified they are by it, and so he does it a lot in front of them.
Sure.
He yells at me when I hold my sneezes in, which I do.
Yeah, they both do.
Oh.
They
Because I
both do.
then made the mistake of telling them, and you have to fact check this, that it kills brain cells. And they now are worried about my
Meanwhile,
brain.
now she lets these terrifying karate chop sneezes out that each one takes like 6.5 days off of my life.
I get so mad.
You have no idea how
Oh,
mad I get.
oh, I
because
do.
I keep it in most of the time. It really is like you got like somebody hit you in the back of the head.
One
with
time I had to
something.
let it out because the kids get mad. They're like, Mom, let it out.
She went from when we
Yeah, that's what he always says. She goes, when he said, no, one time I really let one out, let one loose, and I hear him in the other room. When we started dating, they were so quiet. You were so mad. Like you felt like I
They
sold
frighten
you.
me. They frighten me.
Oh, for God's sake.
They startle me.
We have a friend who has horrific sneezes in the same way. It's like the whole table just jumps
They're
up
hostile.
every time. Yeah.
They're hostile.
They feel
So
aggressive.
she's adding to them. She's
I am
yes,
not
performing.
adding to
They're
them.
cartooning.
yeah.
Okay, I don't want to get into the weeds in it, but there are several funny things that came out of the cancellation. I wouldn't have thought this. It was not a cancellation,
Yours.
suspension.
My
Yours.
vacation. Whatever.
Yeah, whatever we're calling that now. I found there to be some funny things I learned
all
today.
right, good.
Yeah.
I'm excited about this.
I didn't know this. There were helicopters all around your house during this.
Yes. Yeah.
So I didn't know that. That's intense.
Yeah, there were like 15 black SUVs following us home,
Remember when we were
crazy.
crouching in the bushes?
including the local NBC affiliate, which I found, for whatever reason, that really pissed me off.
And that got you.
What the fuck?
We were trying to lose them on the way
Oh my
home from the
God.
show that you guys, it
I
was,
learned that in time of war or strife, we would be so dead.
yeah, we would,
all my plan. I'm like, here's what we're gonna do. You make a left here. We're gonna get out of the car. You're gonna keep driving. You'll keep going. We're blocked by the houses. Yeah. You keep driving, and then send another car to pick us up, coming the other way, and we'll slip into that car. And they're like, yeah. And like the whole time, I realized they know where we live.
Yeah,
Right,
and you just look
yeah.
stupid getting in and out of
And by
cars.
the way, then they got, the only photos they got of us were when we were doing that stupid car swap. We're like, let's go to the Trader Joe's parking lot. We'll swap cars.
That's right. We went to Trader Joe's also.
We did.
Oh, that was part of the plan to go to
Yes.
Trader Joe's.
Oh my God, we have no idea what we're doing. We're not cut out for this.
Yeah, we did not go to the Britney Spears school of paparazzi.
No.
Evasion. That's where you guys need to switch to motorcycles that week.
That would be
that's
cool.
But so it was more intense than I think I gave it credit for. But there are a couple hysterical moments that came out of it when you had to like tell the kids. And I'm thinking about something Jane said and both Billy. But Billy was the first right to ask, is it the president? Does he have something to do with this? Is that he the one who asked that?
I believe it was Jane. We said we had to explain what was going on because there were helicopters and noise outside our house. And also they were still in school. And this was becoming a very huge story. We didn't know how big it would be. And we didn't know if the kids were going to hear about it at school. So we said the show has been canceled for a little bit. And Jane said, is this Donald Trump's fault?
Okay.
And we said yes.
Which, again,
Correct.
when you're evaluating all the weird ways our kids are growing up, like that's incredibly bizarre.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not, I said to Jim the other day, I'm like, this is what a wild childhood for these kids to know that the president of the United States doesn't like their father.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not a great feeling, but it's also kind of funny.
In a feather in your cap.
I don't know if they understand that he's not like a movie villain or a TV, in a way he is. He's like a cartoon character.
Yeah.
and all
They're
that.
probably having a hard time taking him seriously.
Well, also they don't, it's not like they never had a normal president.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
for them, it's like, oh yeah, this is what happens with the president.
Yeah, these are
President
presidents.
is like interchangeable with Dr. Evil or something.
Yeah.
Uh,
But the one that cracked me up is that Jane was really concerned, and I just learned this about her, is she very much thinks she'll be taking over your show.
She does,
Oh, yeah.
yes.
Oh, yes.
It's going to be Jane
Oh.
Kimmel Live.
yes.
So she started crying because her show was going away.
Shit. Yeah.
Which I
Yes.
found annoying and presumptuous. And,
Yes.
she, for whatever reason, she's decided, even though she is one of my 4 children, that she is taking over the show. It was never a conversation even. It was just like, I will, of course,
Clearly.
run the family business.
I love the
Wow.
spirit.
Yeah.
I know if I were your kid, I'd be thinking that
I
for
also
sure. I
do
would
think
almost
she'd
be
be
like
great.
pushing you up.
I think she'd be great.
She'd be
pushing you down some
great.
chairs.
I told Jon Stewart about this. He said, yeah, my son said the same thing when he was little. He was like, yeah, and then I will be taking over the Daily Show. And he was like, what's with this Trevor character?
Yeah, who's he?
Oh, wow.
And then another really funny thing was you had said, I think, to Jane, I hope you know that over time you'll find out that we were on the right side of history.
Mm-hmm. That's really important.
And to which she replied,
Yeah.
I thought we were on the left.
Yes. She did. She goes, I thought we were on the left. She also offered to sell her Labubus. She
fantastic.
said, I'll sell all my, she immediately cried. She goes, I'll sell all my Labubus. She had 3 Labubus at the time.
Each time something happens, they think we're just going to be bankrupt the next day. They don't seem to understand that there's some savings.
I went to play poker with some friends from my groundlings friends from like 30 years ago. It's like a $10 buy-in poker game. And I went, and little did I know, the entire 3 hours I was gone, Lincoln was obsessed with the fact that I'm going to lose all of our money. And when I got home, she's like, dude, you lose all of our money? And I'm like, I guess you have a right to fear that I'd be a gambling addict too, but I'm not.
I mean, it's better that than them thinking like you guys have infinite money.
Yeah.
You want them to be a little
I
anxious
agree.
about
Yeah,
it.
maybe not as anxious as they are, though.
Yeah, there's a fine line, I guess.
Yeah.
How long was the window before you knew that you were coming back?
We were suspended on, was it a Tuesday or a Wednesday?
I remember it as a Wednesday. It was the 18th.
Yeah, I think a Wednesday is correct. And we were back on the following Tuesday.
The following Tuesday. So like almost a full week.
Yeah, almost a week. Yeah. 3 shows really is what it was. Yeah.
Were you at any point going like, okay, I'm retired. And okay, was there any little window where you're like, maybe I need to embrace this and maybe I'm excited for that?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. It's more immediate than that. It's more like, okay, all right, so I don't have to do a show on Monday. That's kind of how I looked at it. Like, all right, well, the good news is I don't have to do a show. I don't have to work tomorrow. Of course, it turned out to be a much more stressful work day than the usual work day. But yeah, there was a little bit of that.
Yeah.
But it was like, I don't need this. This is such bullshit. I don't need it.
You do deal with that thought. I deal with that thought regularly, not just in an extreme situation.
I deal with that now. I mean, on a daily basis, I think.
I think I
just
deal
like
with it.
What is
like
this
why
worth it?
is it worth it?
Weirdly, I deal with it less now than I used to because now I feel like this show is an outlet for people who are outraged by what's going on, and I feel some responsibility to those people. So it's not just like, hey, why do I need to get up? And it's like, well, yeah, there is kind of a reason, a non-financial reason that you need to do this.
Purpose.
It gives you a little. It makes there's nothing we ever did in the past had any consequence. It was just like, just
no, he would say something or tweet something maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even mean consequence like in that way. I mean consequence like it didn't matter. Like
what you talked
had
about.
People jumping off a diving board in their bathing suits. That we pulled off the street. It was not like it had nothing to do with anything that was actually going on in the world.
Not winning a Peabody really for that. Probably, sadly.
By the way, I noticed today that Peabody's been rolling around in my trunk for like 2 weeks.
Oh God,
what is this?
Can we rent it?
Put it on the hood. We've been wanting one.
We campaign for it almost every episode. We don't want any award other than the Peabody, and we're not sure how you get one.
I would love
or
that
why.
for you guys.
It sounds great.
There's 15 jurors, and they all have to say yes. If one person says no, you don't get it.
It's like joining the Hells Angels. It's got to be unanimous.
Yep.
Aren't you now on the committee for Peabody? So a guest told us this. They said, I think Kimmel has joined somehow.
If I am, it's news to me. I don't think so.
Well, if you are, and if you end up at a meeting,
Just,
they ask, or they probably
Yeah.
don't even ask, you offer to go.
If you want the one that's in my trunk,
I would love it. Yeah. I just want to see what it looks like.
It is pretty cool. And it started in radio. The Peabody started as an award to people in radio.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I would
that's
have.
all there was at the time. It's a broadcasting and film award. Yeah.
Okay. Did it get tricky at all? It's stressful on a relationship, no?
Yeah, for sure. I think this is a little different because we were in it together.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the situations we are.
Yeah, like it affects my livelihood, my job, my coworkers. So I was right there
psyche.
hand in hand with him the whole time. I will say like it gets a point, I get to a point of resentment when it is like relentless, relentless like scrutiny or, oh my God, that joke we said yesterday is everyone's mad at us for it. And I resent how much time and it sucks.
Yeah, how much energy it takes.
The energy, it sucks. But no, I feel like we are lucky and that we really kind of were in the same spot during that.
I let it roll off my back much more than I ever had. The older I get, the less affected I am by that
I'm
stuff.
much more affected, I think.
Yeah, when I heard you guys talk about it, you said like you get more mad.
Yes.
Yeah. Why do you think it's less
I think
now?
I'm not as connected to what people are saying.
Mm-hmm.
I also, before I did this job and even before I was on television, I was in a very stressful job as a radio disc jockey, getting fired from town to town to town.
Yeah.
And I've become hardened in some ways. And also, like at that time when I lost my job, I was in deep financial trouble. Like I couldn't miss one paycheck.
Yeah.
It was a problem and I do try to remember that. I go, okay, if I don't have this job, We're going to be okay. I don't have to worry about that. And I take some solace and comfort in that.
So there's like little spikes of gratitude within the misery.
Keeping it in perspective, and that perspective at that time. Now, it wasn't the president. You weren't dealing with the most powerful person in the world.
Yeah.
But a much bigger concern is I can't get $20 out of the ATM. Because I have less than that in it. That's a real concern. So these things that I'm dealing with are big and they get a lot of attention. But getting fired in Tampa, Florida was harder than this.
Yeah.
How about the aspect, though? I don't mind at all if I said an opinion and you understood the opinion and you object to it. I can live with that. All day long. Our weird little dust up made me mad because we were in trouble for a joke people didn't get. And so you're mad at me for something you've misunderstood. And I find that really fucking uncomfortable.
Yes.
Like I can't just let that roll off my back.
I feel like I have to explain it and protect it.
Until they accept it.
Yeah.
I do believe we're also living in a time where people are deliberately misinterpreting words for either clickbait or attention or just prodding people, and I
political capital.
I resent that too.
Yeah, it's hard to live with the notion someone is really angry at you or something they misunderstood. I don't know why. I wish I could shake that off.
Yeah.
Or misunderstanding is I can deal with that. It's what really drives me crazy is intentionally perverting your words to suit whatever their narrative is.
But that's a class of person, right? They're coming for you no matter what,
right?
Like that I would put in the category, no matter what I say, you're gonna. But it's just like the average person who heard through the grapevine what the thing was, and they don't understand that. That irritates me.
But some people believe it. That's the hard. It's like, that type of person is doing it.
It bothers me especially because I don't do it. I won't do it, even when I see Trump say something crazy, and he's obviously joking, which he is sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but he was joking, and they'll be like, but he was joking. So
you have some ethics about what you're gonna.
I might make a comment about his, what if this joke was, presidential, but I'm not going to, to make that a literal statement.
Right.
Do you have a harder time when it's directed at Kristen or at you, or is it kind of
1,000% worse when it's Kristen? In fact, I don't think I ever engage defending myself online. But if I read something about Kristen, I am fucking at the keyboard.
Yep.
Yeah, I won't have it.
I find it really hard because I feel like you know that person better than anyone, and you're watching people write their story that is absolutely not who they are. And I feel like I do it all the time with Jimmy too, and it makes me crazy.
You're also married to a very generous, beautiful person, as am I. So my anger is like, how fucking dare you sling mud at her? What have you fucking helped somebody do recently? Like no one in this country is in a position that they can be on a moral high ground over Kristen.
Right.
And it drives me like, how dare you?
Completely.
This is the most generous fucking
angel
person.
On earth. Yep. But that's where it's really, really hard for me. I get really upset. I'm like, you don't know this person.
Same here when it happens the other way. It's you want to fight then.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. You don't really care about any other principles you had. I don't.
Yeah, you become just like a kind of an animal protecting a cave.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
It's funny. It even happens here because we often are on opposite sides sometimes of a conversation or an issue. But then it's like when it's your brother, like when somebody else says it, I'm like, no, you don't get to say that. Right. You're not allowed to say it. Only I can say it.
I want you guys to apologize to me because
I'm sorry.
Well, I'd prefer you heard it first. Okay, yeah. It doesn't feel as genuine when you don't know what you're apologizing for. But I can see that you've been with someone for 16 years and you're doing it. You have the right blueprint.
I love the setup to this question. I almost don't even want to hear the statement because it's so exciting. I want to revel in the drama of what it is.
We can switch subjects for a while and then come back to it. I'm good at earmarking things. But when all this stuff happened, I'm like, oh boy, I need to send Molly and Jimmy a text. And then I go, the last thing they need is a fucking text from somebody. I'm at home and I'm just like, fuck, I know I don't want to bother them. And also I need them to know that I'm heartbroken they're going through this. And I just, I mulled it over for a couple days and then I finally committed to sending it. And that was just really stressful for me. So.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. I know I cannot apologize enough for that.
Okay, good. You can't really imagine what I went through, can you?
Oh, we're apologizing to you for the stress it caused you.
Yes, I didn't know whether I should text you or not.
Makes total sense.
It's funny because the question itself is puzzling to me because like I'm not adding up who has texted me and who hasn't, or who has emailed me and who hasn't. It would be impossible.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But I would notice if like my dad didn't send me something.
Yeah. And I do think that, waiting like a week or so is a good way to go because it shows that like, hey, listen, I'm just not trying to add to your thing.
I know.
And then the fear kicks in and you're like, maybe he is going like, what does he agree with these people? Why?
I'm going to be honest with you. That's where I was.
What?
I was there.
What?
I was like, wow, we haven't heard from so-and-so or so-and-so. And I think I was spinning out. We were in isolation in our home.
Yeah.
We were being attacked by a big, the White House and a big part of the country. And I was, after a few days, being like, haven't heard from you. Were not, I'm sorry, I didn't say your name.
That's great.
But it would be a few people. I'm like, wow, haven't heard from them. I'm like, do they think we should be off the air? Like I started to think
in your head about
they agree with this decision. He was never there. Yeah. I would bring it up to him and be like, we haven't heard from so-and-so. He's like, stop it. They don't want to reach out. But I was going there.
But this has been super productive because now I know in the future I will text you.
Thanks. And I'll just show up to be on your podcast.
Guys, this isn't your last dust up. I just hate to break it to you.
I know. I'm so tired.
You have to learn to appreciate when the sailing is smooth.
Cousin Sal said it best the other day. He said, writing for this show and being part of the show is like being in the car and you're not drunk, the cop pulls behind you and you start to just drive like, oh, I should be slower and I could get pulled over for a little thing. That's how it feels every day.
Yeah.
Like there's a cop behind
Except
us.
I'm still speeding.
Yeah.
And you're a little drunk.
Yeah.
I always err on the side of sending it, even though it can feel a little selfish because it is like, I just need them to know that I care or I'm thinking about
with
them.
You.
Or so I recognize it. It's like, oh, I know they're getting so many, but it's important to me that you know that.
A lot of it is about who it's coming from.
Yeah.
Somebody's, sometimes there are people who you just don't know at all. And they're just they want to tell their friends.
Yes,
that
some of the texts came in and you're like, oh, they just want to know what's going on.
People in their lives have said, have you talked to Jimmy and Mom? People in my life said that.
Right.
My mom called me. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Why do I have to give you an account?
Should have sent her on through. I would have texted with her. Although I will say I did not respond. I mean, I got hundreds and hundreds of texts. I did not respond to any. I would just heart.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I was too scared to say. I didn't know what the status was. And I was also afraid, honestly, at that moment. I'm like, are my text messages going to be used in court? Like, I don't know what's going on.
Oh my God.
And so I just hearted everything.
Here's another angle, though, I will throw at you.
Okay.
Sometimes when somebody who's famous is going through something, I intentionally will not reach out to them because I don't want them to think because sometimes I'm like something's going on with me and I'm like, oh, this is no big deal. And then suddenly it's like, I look at my phone and go, oh, crap, I guess this is a big deal.
Yeah.
I'm going to out him. Jake Tapper, I learned that we were in a controversy. We were 5 days in. I had no clue.
No way.
He never stops reporting the news.
I know, even to the people involved. And I literally wrote back, wait, what are you talking about? And then he's like, oh, sorry. And I'm like, yeah, I don't even know what you're talking about. Because they've been keeping it from me.
Yeah.
And I just didn't even know. Yeah.
Oh, geez, I would never have known about this.
But you text back right away, of course. And you said, you want me to come on your show and talk about it?
Oh my God.
I'm a little busy, but I could be there in 15 minutes. No, but you wrote back right away. And I was like, exactly. This poor guy, he's fucking dealing with this and now he's got to write me back. I shouldn't have sent him anything. Okay, lastly, I want to talk about family. Family. I wonder, we addressed it already. What's not fair to say is that our kids are growing up in a very weird situation because actually they're not, right? I think that would, I think people would be surprised about that. Like, it's just the same. You're eating dinner, you're begging them to clean up the room, you got to go to school. It's just real life. But then there's pops of insanity.
Yeah.
Where it's like someone they worship is walking through the driveway to come talk to dad. That stuff's kind of weird.
Yeah.
And I wondered, do you guys share the same fears? What are the fears?
We do, but also I think we have to accept what reality is. And there's this idea like I'm going to create this phony world for them where everything is as it was when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And even I think back like to when I was a kid, I grew up in Las Vegas. You know, it's a strange place to grow up. It wasn't a normal upper. Now, most of it was. And I think it's the same with them. Like most of it is, but then also there's the strip right near your house and people are there getting drunk and gambling and everyone's parents work there and you're exposed to it. And I just think like that you want to teach them values and you want to have like a normal life and give them attention and all those things that are important and make sure they learn their multiplication tables. But you can't be phony. And you can't pretend that what's happening is not happening.
Yeah, you can't gaslight them.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's kind of what I think our initial inclination is. Like, we got to let them think everything's exactly the same as if they were growing up in Brooklyn, you know?
Yeah, I find that I definitely worry about it. Like the access they have or the things they get to experience. And then I will say to them, like, don't talk about this at school.
Yeah, same.
And then I'm like, what am I doing? I'm teaching them to lie or to hide or feel shame that they got to meet Olivia Rodrigo.
Yeah,
like,
cool.
that should be exciting.
Yeah.
But also I realize like they don't know how cool that is. You know, like they genuinely don't. Like Olivia Rodrigo was on the show and she made an offhanded comment like, I'd love to babysit the kids sometime.
Right.
Well, Jane keeps asking like, when's she going to babysit? Like she doesn't know what her hourly rate would be. You know, she has, they don't even, I think we put so much more value on these things than they do.
The things I worry about also, I'm going to have to also let it be what it is. So one of the things I observed is like, well, they go to a totally normal fucking school. More than half the kids are free lunch, right? So half the kids that come over to this house, they don't have a swimming pool. I start getting nervous about like, oh, she has all the leverage. It's not healthy for someone to have all the leverage. Like, it's not healthy to know you're providing the special thing to all the people when you're young. Will she exploit that? Then I spin out. I'll like observe, like, was she being a little short with her friend? It's like just normal stuff. But I have such a fear that she would not realize, well, a lot of these kids, this is a special experience. And, you know, that's what stresses me out.
You know what's funny is so many times I've been stressed about this and I've thought we should call Dax and Kristen. And I'm learning you don't have the answers either.
I make decisions.
Yeah. I have no idea. Like parenting already is like, no one knows what they're doing. I mean, they don't. We're doing the best that we can.
It's your
but
first
then there's
time,
this, it's like this added element of like, now there's fame in there and there's billboards of their dad on the way to school. Like that's not normal. Yeah. And I don't know how to do it. I'll be honest.
Yeah, it's a little scary.
I go, hey guys, look, it's me.
Hey, who's this handsome guy?
Look at me over there.
But I also don't think they should carry I feel like we do project our own. It's good that we're scared.
I think we have this idea that like however we were raised is the way you're supposed to be raised.
Yeah.
And it's egomaniacal and a lot of like, look at how I came out. I need them to come out this way. And this is how this was the formula that.
Yes.
But if you think about leverage, you think about like leverage to kids. I think like, you know, having a beautiful house with the pool is not so different from when I would go over my friend Cleto's house and he had a Betamax, you know,
exactly.
It's just to a kid. Like,
exactly. It's different.
Leverage could just be you have a pair of Reeboks.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
But I was in a situation where it's like you did hang out with a kid you didn't like in your neighborhood who had a pool because you wanted to go swimming. I was friends with the dude because he had a fucking Odyssey. I wanted to be around this off-road vehicle, you know, and be there feeling kind of dirty about it. And I'm like, You know, those dynamics happen with kids.
It's part of it.
Society.
The most popular kids are not necessarily the ones with famous parents or like rich parents or anything. Like I think personality and cool factor is like real, whether whoever your parents are.
That's what I want them to know. You can't ride on this shit. You have to be a rad friend. You have to be funny. You have to be attentive. Like that. Like that's what I want them to know.
Right.
Don't skate on this.
Right. I always find myself over explaining stuff, like when they get to experience something through his work or they get to come to the show. They're like, this is so cool. And I said, yes. And your friends' parents also work very hard. And just because they're not on TV doesn't mean their jobs are less meaningful. And Jimmy is just rolling his eyes at me like, I go way over the top. I'm like, there are nurses who work just as hard and they can't afford to have a pool in their yard, but that doesn't make them less special. Like I go crazy.
On that. It's true though, right?
I think first class is a tricky one though.
Yeah.
Because going back from first class, that's tough.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. If you're used to
Your
it.
first class was Delta's +1, remember?
Yeah. The first time I flew first class, I was a 3-year-old's +1.
Awesome.
And it was amazing. I was like, I feel like Richard. Yeah, exactly. It's like, I feel like I'm her Julia Roberts right now.
Yeah, but what do? You go in first class and you put your kids
I know, exactly.
Yeah.
You can't.
I've heard of people doing that before.
Yeah, it seems admirable, but I'm not willing to do it. It's hard enough to get them to sit down in first class. I don't want to be fucking with them in the back of the airplane.
It seems kind of terrible to me. I mean, for me, it's like we're all in coach or we're all in first class.
We fly Southwest like twice a year just to let them know what's happening.
That's important.
I want to talk about retirement. You and I end up always talking about it when we're in Idaho.
Yeah, I know, right?
I know we're going to talk about it this year too.
It's that time of year.
And I guess I want to know, Molly, first, like, what do you think about the notion of retirement?
It definitely appeals to me for the nervous system of the household, but I also feel like Jimmy has like a fly rod in one hand and like a torch in the other right now. It's like he deserves to go out there and just be on the river and relax, but I also want him to keep fighting. And I feel this sense of desire to not quit because I think what he's doing is incredibly important right now. And yes, I know we're doing it in a vacuum, but I think it's giving people like a feeling of like their voice is heard, and I think it's important. But as his wife, I really would like him to be able to not do this show anymore so he could relax.
But what about you?
Yeah, what about you?
Me, I'm good either way. Like I would be happy to be done with the show end it in a great way and do my own next thing.
Yeah.
But I do care deeply about that show and the people who work there, and I think the voice is really important right now.
And do you have a fear that if you guys did wrap it up in the most beautiful way and you got it exactly as you wanted, do you have this simmering fear that you'll 2 years later go like, wait, why did we stop doing this thing we love? Is that in the equation at all?
Yeah, I do. I have
Maybe.
that, I know people who've been in that situation. It's funny. People make a big show of like, I'm done and I'm tired doing this. And then they make a lesser comeback trying to do the same thing.
Yeah.
And that's always a bummer. And I always look at that and go, oh, is that going to be me?
I know.
I do look forward to that moment, like when the kids leave for school and then it's like coffee and open the computer and like digesting all the news of the day and like having a purpose with it that I will definitely miss. Like reading at leisure sounds nice, but I also like reading with a purpose. Like I'm going to read this and then figure out the angle on it. I like that feeling and I will miss that.
Do you have enough hobbies that you think you'll be entertained?
No, and I need to work on that. I started learning piano, trying to learn things, but no, I look forward to that.
I do.
He has a lot of hobbies.
I feel it's really tricky to evaluate it because part of me is like, I've done show business for a very long time. Like, how long did I need to do show business? A. B, I'm afraid of letting it all go because it was so hard to get.
Mm-hmm.
And then that is what makes me horny for it because I'm afraid of it. It's how I felt when I was in Detroit and was like, we're going to go to California. We don't know what's out there. Probably failure. We must try this. The actual fear of it is what it really motivates. It feels like, oh, there's a challenge in front of me. Can I let go of all this? can I have a different chapter that has nothing to do with any of this and feel valuable without being productive? Like it feels like a lot of life challenges.
Do you ever think to yourself, how would I explain this to me at 25 years old, just giving up, just letting it go? I know that 25-year-old me would be like, are you crazy?
Right.
Keep going.
Yeah.
25-year-old me too, but also 25-year-old me was in a blackout 5 days a week.
Right,
so it's
right.
like I have no interest
I
in what
wasn't, though.
25-year-old Dax thinks I should be
25-year-old me
doing.
would have just been so excited to work at a place that had a snack table that was free.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that would have been just
Or
like,
a gas
wow.
card if they like gave you free fuel or something.
Oh,
I
if
would
you
have
got
kept any job.
22
for
cents
that.
a mile or something. Forget about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you feel about retirement? Sorry, I'm not trying to do your job.
No, do
I was
my
just like, I'm
job,
curious.
please.
Like, he gets asked this a lot, but I feel like it changes.
Or it depends on what you mean by retirement. I'm never going to stop doing things.
No.
So it's just a different scenario.
Got the thing on the eyelash.
I know, but yeah, my
Your makeup coming off?
Yeah.
When I eat garlic, my eyebrows start flaking immediately. Is it an allergy
Really?
you have? Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's pretty immediate.
Yeah, I
What
just
is your eyelash?
I'll get
yeah,
red.
I don't know, something got in my eye.
Do you think, Molly, though, that you will do another job
Yes.
that makes that like
Yeah, hopefully that makes money.
that
yeah.
probably makes money?
Molly's
Yes.
always wanted to open a karate studio.
Oh my god!
Oh, I think a lot of us have wanted her to open a karate studio. It's not just her.
Wow. Well, when Dax retires, I'll
First,
join
she
you.
has to learn karate.
Yeah,
Sure,
I'll do
yeah,
that
Step one.
first.
That part's easy.
Yeah, no,
That
I'm
part's
definitely
fine.
excited to like write something and do
Yeah.
my next thing.
Yeah.
But I also I want to ride this as long as we can and then do my own thing.
What if you opened a karate studio to learn karate?
Oh,
That would be
Oh, I
That
like
would be like a
that.
very novel
I
approach
like
to learning
that.
karate. Like you wanted to have your own mat or whatever the fuck you have in karate.
I like that.
really all I need positive affirmation. I need somebody to look at whatever I've done and go, oh, that's great. And then I'll be
Jimmy recently painted a sweatshirt for me. You'll see it in Idaho. Hand painted the sweatshirt. It was how many days of work?
Not that many.
Several.
So modest.
But just this beautiful scene of Idaho on a sweatshirt. I love
Ooh.
it so much. It's like my prized possession. But he can't.
Can't stop when I get started.
He can't stop. And also, like, are your hobbies? Are you able to enjoy them? Like, or are you sitting there going, "I should be doing something that earns money"?
No, I can enjoy the shit out of my hobbies. If anything, I feel very guilty I'm not doing some of my hobbies. Like I haven't been to the sand dunes in 2 seasons. That actually makes me mad at myself. Like, why are we here if we have the ability to do this thing you've always like
Yeah.
that drives me nuts.
Yeah.
I'll get critical.
I do sometimes wonder, like, if you could know, like, this is how much time you have left. Are we wasting it on stuff we shouldn't be doing?
Yeah.
You know?
It's just interesting. I didn't grow up, again, talk about how we grew up. I never met anyone who had the option to retire. I never
Right.
met anyone that was fine and took on another challenge and became a different human being. I didn't know anyone. I don't know. I knew you work until your body quits and then you go to Florida and you drink. And then you play golf
Right.
and then you're dead in like,
So you
I
get
don't know,
Social
12 years. You hurt
Security,
your hip and you're gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here. Everyone
Same.
I know who has or can do that is someone I met in the last 20 years.
Yeah.
Right. And you don't know if you trust them.
Yeah. There's some guilt with that too. Like my dad just retired. He's 72. And yeah, to be like, I'm done now at 52
Yeah.
feels like
It feels irresponsible.
rude or something.
yeah. I think people will hate me
you're not
over it.
allowed to
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
It's lazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it does.
It feels un-American.
It
It does. Like I
does.
know people will hate me over that if I retire in my 50s.
Yeah.
But part of me is like, oh, there's this great challenge. I'm afraid to know who I am without being productive and spectacular. And I want to take on that challenge.
I love that.
I don't know how you guys think of legacy. I doubt you think about it. I certainly don't. But I just have to say, your guys' legacy, from the bottom of my heart, it's so unique. There's about 30 kids that come to Idaho every summer. And I promise you, if you ask these kids when they're adults, the best weeks of their entire life, I'm telling you that is this thing you guys created, this environment and this vibe and the way it's put together. And for the 30 adults, it's are we in the 7th year, 6th year, 7th?
Yeah, I think 6.
It's getting long.
Yeah, it is.
Every year we debate it when we're there.
I know, we never remember.
Yeah.
Is it 6?
Mm-hmm.
Sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, and I have had a spectacular charmed life, and everyone that goes to this thing has had a spectacular charmed life. It is among my favorite weeks of my entire life that you guys have given me and 30 other families, and it's so special. And that's a weird art to be able to do that. It's very much your legacy.
It's very
I hope
kind
you know.
of you
Nice.
to say. But for us, we feel the same way. So for us, we feel like we're, a part of that. And
Yes.
we do it because we love it. And we know our kids feel that way.
Yeah.
And we do it with our family also. Each year we do the same thing. And we just remember, like Molly always talks about her time going to, just
Lake
going
Michigan.
to Lake Michigan
Mm-hmm.
with her family. We never really had anything like that, but those memories are so intense and special and important in your life, I think. And also just like they mark time in a lot of ways. And so I'm big on that. I think it's important to have family Christmas Eve and to the traditions and to do it properly. And because I just know, like I love watching these kids running wild, and
They turn into teenagers. Some of the boys now have muscles. It's so fun. It's like, I love seeing how everyone's growing up. It's so special. We're just so grateful. I don't know that we can relate to you how special it is.
You guys have done a really good job of communicating. You were not as good at texting us after we were canceled. You've done an amazing job of communicating that. And it also brings us such joy to do it and to have people who love it, like people who appreciate it and love it. And I think we've curated a really great group of people there. And I'm so grateful you guys keep loving it and coming.
I love being around people who are having a lot of fun.
Yes.
That's why I love going to Las Vegas. And I try to explain to Molly, she's like, what was that? I was like, look at how much fun everyone's having here. It's like, it's infectious, it's contagious,
It is.
That's certain
really
things
true.
that you just go like, oh yeah, everybody. And that for me, going to that fishing lodge is, being around everybody. It's just energy that feeds me in some way.
Yeah. And I think after the year that we've had, I feel like that is just something we are just craving. It's just being around a bunch of people we love who just are feeling joyful.
I had that observation. We had a friend who was doing a show for us, and it was called Flightless Bird. And he's a Kiwi, and he's confused by a lot of the American things. And so he does this whole episode on Disneyland and Disney adults, and it finishes, and I go, but obviously you went to Disneyland for this story, right? And he's like, no, I don't. I go, we're not putting this fucking story out until we go to Disneyland. So the 4 of us went to Disneyland, and it was on that
So
trip
fun.
where I realized, like, oh, the reason Disneyland is the most incredible place on the planet, aside from the park, which is amazing, is it's the only place you'll ever go in your life where everyone that's there, all present, decided this was going to be a spectacular day.
The best day of their life.
And there's really no place you can step into where that vibe is live. It goes to hell by 4 p.m. All the kids have gotten cranky. No one's having that. But man, those first 4 hours at Disneyland's like everyone here is optimistic and is going to have the best day of their life.
That's nice.
Like a flight to Hawaii is like that too, right? Like people have saved up and this is it. And they got the whole week ahead.
Yeah.
And there's that moment where you walk into the hotel and the other people are walking out and you look at them and you go, you poor bastard. And then I think to myself at that moment, I go, oh, I'm going to be that guy walking out. And then I am that guy walking out. I think, and I see the people walking in and I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah.
I'm going back to work.
That's the one pleasure you were denied by growing up in Vegas. There's no starker difference between a flight to Vegas and a flight home from Vegas. They're on Spirit Airlines from Detroit, where your fucking ticket was $115. The ride there, everyone's drinking and having a great time, and the ride home, everyone
I will
is
tell you how I relate to it. How I relate to it is the drive home when the sun is coming up in Las Vegas, when you're headed home after a night and you see people like running, and you're like, oh, I just feel like a piece of shit.
Yeah.
These people are up for the day. I haven't even gone to bed yet.
That was my number one grievance about being a cocaine addict, is I was constantly coming home on San Vicente Boulevard in Santa Monica, and the whole town is running in the morning. And I'm like, I got to figure out how to go to sleep. And Saturday's gone. I'll see you guys Sunday evening.
Man.
Well, I love you two so much. I'm so lucky.
Thank you for letting me invite us here.
This is so funny.
You're welcome for
You're
coming.
welcome for coming on.
You don't even need a booker anymore. Send out
Just a nice
check in
text.
on people.
Just check in on your friends and they'll show up.
I got to figure out what Brad Pitt's doing more, so they're appropriate. I love you, Molly and Jimmy, and I'm so grateful that we have you in our life. And thanks
Love
for
you.
coming in. And everyone watch Jimmy
Yes,
Kimmel
yes,
Live,
yeah.
and I don't know whatever thing you're going to host this year. I guess. All right, love you guys.
Love
Thanks.
you. You guys are the best.